All right, let's dive right in. You know that feeling, right? You spend more time scrolling through movies than actually watching one? Well, today we're going to break down a really cool new approach that uses AI to solve that exact problem. Let's talk about a smarter way to pick your next film.
We've all been there. It's movie night, everyone's finally on the couch, but nobody can agree on what to watch. You open up your favorite streaming service and bam, you're hit with this endless wall of thumbnails. It's the classic movie night dilemma.
Now, think about how you'd ask a friend for a recommendation. You'd probably say something just like this. I want fun, visually stunning sci-fi movies like Interstellar for family movie night. On the surface, it sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? But for a typical computer algorithm, that request is actually incredibly complicated.
I'm guessing it does. We've all tried typing something that specific into a search bar, only to get back a totally random list of sci-fi movies that completely misses the point. It's this universal frustration, and it really highlights the huge gap between how we talk and how machines listen.
So let's really pull that sentence apart. It is packed with so much more than just keywords. You've got an emotional tone with the word fun. You've got these subjective qualities, like visually stunning. What does that even mean to a computer? There are these hidden kind of vague constraints, like for family movie night, which implies, nothing too violent or scary. And then you use a specific movie, Interstellar, not just for the genre, but as a benchmark for the vibe we're trying to find. That is a ton of nuance for a standard program to handle.
So this gets us to the heart of the issue. Why do the recommendation systems we use every single day struggle so much with these very human, very normal requests?
Well, this chart really lays it all out. See, traditional recommenders, they're built for rigid, structured data. They look at simple genres, basic metadata, and they use this thing called collaborative filtering, which is basically a fancy way of saying people who watched X also watched Y. But we don't talk like that. Our requests are full of emotion, subjective feelings, and all these hidden layers of meaning. It's kind of like trying to explain a dream to a calculator. It just doesn't compute.
So at the end of the day, it's really this simple. There's a huge gap between what we're trying to say and what these systems are built to understand. They're designed to crunch cold, hard data. But what we're trying to communicate is a feeling, a mood, an entire experience. And that's exactly where they fall flat. But what if? What if we could actually bridge that gap? What if there was a system designed from the ground up to understand us? Well, say hello to the hero of our story, the AI agent.
The solution here is a totally different way of thinking about the problem. Instead of a rigid algorithm, we use an intelligent agent, and this agent is powered by a large language model, or LLM. The same kind of tech behind tools like ChatGPT. The big difference is that LLMs are trained on enormous amounts of human language, so they don't just see words as data points. They understand context, nuance, and the subtle relationships between ideas. And that makes them the perfect tool to finally handle our messy human way of asking for things.
And this is what we mean by an agentic system. Don't think of it like a search engine. It's more like a detective. It can actually understand what you're really asking for. It can go out and gather all the necessary information, and, this is the crucial part, it can reason about all the different constraints to piece together the perfect solution for you.
Yeah, to put it another way, you're not just yelling keywords into a search bar anymore. You're basically talking to a super smart personal assistant whose only job is to make your movie night awesome.
Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? How does this AI agent actually figure out what you want? What's going on under the hood? Let's take a look.
It actually follows this really smart three-step process. First, it deconstructs your request. It takes that whole sentence, fun, visually stunning sci-fi like Interstellar for family movie night, and breaks it down into all its core pieces. Next, it retrieves information, digging through huge movie databases to find films that actually match all those different criteria. And then comes the magic. It synthesizes all that info to craft a truly personalized recommendation, and it might even tell you why it thinks you'll like a particular film.
And that right there is the absolute game changer. The agent isn't just matching the keyword sci-fi, it's understanding the meaning behind fun. It's getting the vibe of visually stunning, and it's grasping the implication of for family movie night. This is a massive leap from just searching to actually understanding.
Now, this is obviously super cool for fixing our movie nights, but let's zoom out for a second because the potential here is way, way bigger than just what's on your TV. So why should we care about this beyond just finding a film? Because this whole agent-based approach is basically a blueprint for AI that works more like a human brain. It shows that AI can start tackling problems that have vague or subjective inputs, not just clean data. This is about moving beyond simple filtering to, true personalization. And it really paves the way for AI assistants that can help us with much more complex, much more human challenges.
And that leaves us with a huge question to chew on. I mean, if an AI agent can navigate the super subjective world of movie tastes, what else could it do? Could it help you plan a vacation based not just on a place, but on a feeling you want to have? Could it help you find a new job by understanding your passions, not just the bullet points on your resume? The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing, aren't they? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.